Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the Chief Executive Officer of the National Senior Games Association, Mark Riker, and world record holder, Julia Hawkins.
Thank you.
Well, Tim, thank you very much. And from all the numbers of our event that we're very proud of, having 10,000 athletes over 2 weeks, 20 sports, $30 million economic impact to a host community, it's all about the athletes. And we're so glad that we can share with you one of our amazing athletes that so inspired us in all that she's done, Miss Julia Hawkins, and she is aging in at 101. So, Julia, Orlando, you've been here before.
Yes, I came to the National Senior Olympics here and got gold medals in 2 things, so I was happy about that and loved the city. Had a wonderful time.
And you've competed up till you're 80, and then you kind of retired for a little bit, right?
I did. I went to 4 National Senior Olympics. San Antonio, Tucson, Orlando, and Baton Rouge, and at the end there were no athletes to compete with my age. So I took a rest and didn't do it again until my children, without telling me, registered me for the Louisiana Senior Games last year and said I didn't have to do it, but I could do it if I wanted to, in both bicycling and for the first time running the 50-yard dash. So I did that, and I got a gold medal in the cycling, and in the 50-yard dash, I was able to do it, and I fell in love with it. It just seemed like such a fun thing to do. And I got to thinking that doing the 100-yard dash at 100 would be neat. So I did that. And I went to one other meet after that in Baton Rouge, in my own hometown. And it was at LSU where I attended and where I met my husband and where he taught for 30 years, and all 4 of our children graduated from there. And when I had the meet there where I could see all the places where we went to school and had such a good time, it was wonderful. And I had even friends cheering me on, "Go Julia, go Julia." And I did really well, and they say I broke a world record. So that's awesome. I feel like a shooting star, and I wonder when it's gonna end.
But we still have next events coming up, though. We're still training, right?
Yes, I have one more indoor meet that's going to be in Washington, D.C. in the spring, and I'm hoping the cherry trees will be blooming. And if I'm living and can do it, I'll sure be there. And I'm planning on it, and my kids are planning on coming. They're a big support for me, all 4 of them, 2 girls and 2 boys. Everybody had a brother and everybody had a sister, so that was good. And they're all coming, and some grandchildren and 1 grandson named Ender.
So what is the secret that keeps you going?
Well, I've always been active, very active, and I've always been healthy. I've always done the right things, I guess. I didn't smoke and didn't drink, and I tried to sleep enough and exercise enough, and here I am. It surprised me.
Well, you know, your journey, she grew up in Wisconsin, she told me. So Wisconsin people can be proud of her, too. But I did learn that, again now, she was born in 1916. You can even imagine what 1916 was even like. At 3 months of age, the family decided it was time to leave Wisconsin and go to Louisiana. At that time, the only way to get there, really, was the Mississippi River. So here, a 3-month-old child is leaving Wisconsin, going down the Mississippi River in a boat to get to her new home in Louisiana. So she's
a little boat.
a little boat. And then your husband that you've been married to for 70-plus years. Share a little bit about Murray with us.
Well, I met Murray the first day of school at LSU. He was from New Orleans, and I was from a little town, Ponchatoula. And I went home that night and wrote in my diary about this man I'd met, and I knew he was significant, and I knew I was attracted to him, and I did marry him. And he was in Pearl Harbor when it was bombed in the water, and it was 8 days before I heard he was all right. And it was a year I hadn't seen him, and another year before I did see him. But he wrote wonderful letters that I still have and that I reread recently that changed my life in a way. It made me appreciate what had happened to me all my life, and I do think I've led a charmed life.
Certainly have. And tell them how you got married.
Oh, we were married by telephone. And it was the first one in Louisiana, and his father and I went to Baton Rouge to see if it was legal, because it wasn't legal everywhere, but it was in Louisiana, and we came to Ponchatoula to a business where they had a double extension and got married. And people said, "Did you do it over when he came back?" And I said, "Oh no, we felt married. We felt married."
Tell us about the Flower Lady. How did this all get started?
Well, when I was in college, I just loved flowers, have always loved them. And I would see a beautiful azalea or something, and I would pick it. And then I would have nothing to do with it, so I would stick it behind my ear, and it fitted in there. And I thought, why should the Hawaiian girls have all the fun?
You talk a lot about magic moments when you're talking with some of your friends and what it is like, what is about magic moments.
Well, I had the feeling that people didn't appreciate nature, not just nature, but nature especially, and that they didn't appreciate wonderful things that happened to them, like a friend giving you a compliment, or a beautiful piece of music, or but things like a shooting star, a rainbow, a beautiful bird, a gorgeous flower. Just all those things were so important, and some people missed them, just didn't even know they were there. So I gave Magic Moments books, a book with nothing in it except in the back a few of my magic moments to give them the idea, and then a little bit about what I just told you about why. And I hoped it helped them. I had some that told me later I had more magic moments than senior moments, and that was good.
Kind of tell people, like, what is your daily routine? What do we kind of do for your whole day? How do we stay active?
Well, I just keep moving all the time. It seems like I never stop. I have a lot of passions, and I think all of us should have passions about something, because that keeps us going, and athletics is one of the main ones. All of us need to keep doing things out there that make us happy and make us strong and feel good. And I've tried to do that, and I guess I must have somehow.
Well, we had a chance to meet Julie when we were first trying to meet her last spring. We really thought we were calling the Vatican or calling the White House. because it took us like a month to schedule a luncheon with her because she had so many other activities going on around her. So she's kept herself extremely busy. We've had so much fun when we go out to lunch with her, and everybody knows her. She's a friend to everybody. Even today when we're here, we're kind of get here to the rehearsal, and she's stopping and wanting to talk and chatting with everybody. We kind of, Julie, we gotta stay on our timeline. So she's definitely a very active person. Who said she's still riding her bike. Even just a year ago, she actually had an accident and hurt herself. And at that point, could have said, "Hey, maybe this is the time I, stop riding." And it was no. As soon as she was healthy and Doc gave her the clearance, she was back riding her bike in the neighborhood. So she is truly an example of what we're all trying to do with sports. For youth, we're primarily dealing with, but what we can see, what a youth can inspire to, as they have that opportunities in life that the senior games provide, and many other sports that you do it for our seniors, and we're thankful for all of that, and it's so appreciative. But again, Julie is just such an amazing and inspiring person for us. She's told us some interesting stories along the way, and I do have to question you again on your favorite pet that you had.
Well, we had so many, but the one that really stole the show, I guess, was a monkey that we had. I had taught school in Honduras one year, and I got a monkey then and brought him home with me to give my younger sister. And he was such a wonderful pet, but he got into so much trouble. I don't know why I ever got another one. But one of our children, on her lucky birthday, do you know what your lucky birthday is? If you're born on the 10th of the month, your 10th birthday is your lucky one. Or the 13th of the month, your 13th is. And if it's too late for you, don't forget your children and your grandchildren, or nieces and nephews, to do something special on that special day. But that special day, one of our daughters said she wanted a horse on her 13th. So she got a horse on her lucky birthday. And then later, our other daughter, who is here tonight with me, wanted a monkey. And we got her a monkey. You could, on her 10th birthday, you could get them at the pet store back then. And you can't anymore, but you could then. And we had that monkey for 3 years, and I tell you, he was something else. One of our daughters has written a story about it. He was so clever and so cute and so fun and so bad. And we learned what a monkey on your back means, I can tell you. But we did have to finally put that monkey to sleep, because we tried to give him to zoos, we tried to give him to all kinds of places, but we couldn't find anywhere that would take him, that would do anything good with him. Maybe they could do things that we wouldn't want them to do, but we couldn't find a good place. So we had him put to sleep, and he's happy, I'm sure, where he is. But that was the best one. It was the best and the worst, I'll say that.
A little bit about the pin you're wearing.
What?
The pin you're wearing. The pin.
Oh, yes. I wanted to tell you especially, I have a pin of a bird on my shoulder, and I wonder if you could guess what it is. It's a road runner. So get out on the road and run, and if you can't run fast, just keep going and be healthy and have fun.
Anything else you want to say?
That's about it, the story of my life.
And you want to meet Tim? You said you wanted to meet Tim, right?
Yes, Tim.
Tim?
What are you going to do?
How about Julia Hawkins here?
What are you going to do in the Senior Olympics this year?
You put her up to asking me that. The very first year I was qualified, Mark says, we'll put you on the cover of the magazine for the Senior Olympics. And I'm like, no, I don't know. But one of these days, because I think if you've shown anything, it's never too late to start. So thank you so much for being with us, Julia. We really appreciate you coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you.